All right. Welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we will be reviewing the Macleod movie, Wolverine Origins, starring the most handsome Australian I've ever seen, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I won't argue with that.
That's fair. Either way, before we get started, we are drinking slushies, obviously, and or it wouldn't be called Slushie Review.
That's right, we'd be a bunch of phonies.
Sometimes.
We've done it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Listen, slushies are a big business. You know, big slushie.
They don't grow on trees, man.
They don't. The fruit does, but that's neither here nor there.
And that's expensive too.
And that's sometimes. I mean, some of them grow in the ground. I think there's a fruit that grows in the ground. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, some of them grow on like bushes and shit.
Yeah. Still not trees. So,
yeah.
What flavor do we get? Oh, black cherry. Black cherry. It's pretty good. Not too sweet. I think I watered it down a little bit, but it's still pretty good.
Tastes like cherry.
Tastes like black. So,
what flavor is that? Black. Cherry.
Am I Daryl first?
Yeah.
What's a rap? You need to know more about your culture, hero.
Why are you listening to turkey calls? Oh, is this
Is
this not rap?
I said that to my fiance the other day. I was like, "Is this not rap?
It's not
rap." Oh shit! Hilarious. So good. But yeah, so slushies today, and then we're gonna take a break real quick and come back with the cast and the rest of the shit. Bye. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. Welcome back. And we're going to get started with the cast of Wolverine Origins with Chris.
All right. First off, Hugh Jackman. You know him and love him as Logan/Wolverine. Liev Schreiber as Victor Creed. Danny Huston as William Stryker. Will.i.am as John Wraith. I'm going to go on a limb and say that was also his mutant name, was Wraith. Lynn Collins as Kayla Silverfox. Also going to go out on a limb and say that might have been her mutant name.
Yeah, I think Silverfox.
Also, Kevin Durand as Fred Dukes / The Blob. Don't call him that. Dominic Monaghan as Chris Bradley / Bolt. They never call him that in the movie, though. Taylor Kitsch as Remy Gambit LeBeau, the Raging Cajun himself. Daniel Henney as Agent Zero. Don't know who he was or was supposed to be or anything prior to this. Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson / Deadpool.
Yes.
It gets better. It also gets vastly more complicated. Tim Pocock as Scott Summers, Cyclops. Julia Blake as Heather Hudson. Max Cullen as Travis Hudson. They were the old couple that he got murdered just merely by associating with them. Who else have we got here that's important? I guess Peter O'Brien is John Howlett, Logan's not father. Aaron Jeffrey as Thomas Logan, the man who claimed to be his real father. Alice Parkinson as Elizabeth Howlett, his mother. And then you got... Where is he? The only other person I care about. Uncredited, Patrick Stewart as Professor Charles Xavier. Aside from that, that's all I'm giving out for anyone else in this movie. Sorry. So, that's it for the cast. It was a pretty quick and easy cast. So I'm going to throw it over to Keith for the plot of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
The only person I want to add, Scott Adkins. How do we know him? From Doctor Strange.
Who was he in this?
He was Weapon 11. It wasn't really Ryan Reynolds. It was Ryan Reynolds' face. And he's basically a stunt man. He's kind of like Ray Parkish.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why he was so fucking juiced. Because Ryan Reynolds isn't that juiced. And he might be now, but he wasn't then. And yeah, he was in Doctor Strange. He was the guy that he killed with the beep, the paddles, the electric paddles. Yeah. Remember when they fought him? When Doctor Strange fought him, and he went and met his girlfriend, his ex.
I need to rewatch Doctor Strange.
You don't remember that part?
Not really.
Man, because he went back. Because you remember his ex, right? Christine, the one that he killed the world for. And
Yep.
What if? Well, he went back. He teleported back or whatever. And he was in the hospital, and he was like, "I need help," and then she had to bring him back to life. And then he cast his what is it called? His
Astral projection.
yeah, his astral projection or whatever. And she didn't believe him. She was like, "Oh my god!" Whatever. Yeah.
I need to rewatch Doctor
Oh man,
Strange.
yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but that's who he is. I
Okay.
know he was in that, and like I said, I know he's been in a lot of stuff. Because like I said, he is a
Stuntman.
the stuntman. Yeah. So, because every time I see it, when I see this movie, which I've seen it a lot apparently.
What?
I'm sorry, I just saw something now it upset me. But every time I see it, I think he's Ray Park, and I'm like, oh shit, Ray Park was taller. So, I mean, he's shorter. I'm sorry, Ray Park was shorter. But yeah, so yeah, Scott Adkins, good guy. No, apparently there's a deleted scene that has Ororo Monroe.
Oh boy.
Yeah, same. That's why I said that. And it's definitely not Holly.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah. So, okay. So me with the plot, right? Okay. Wolverine's origins. I wonder where it starts off at. The beginning.
Very good place to start.
We actually start off with James Wolverine Logan Howlett. Weapon 1 or whatever they call him. 9 maybe? Or whatever. But we start off with him as a little kid. He's sick. And if we know anything from X2, not X-Men 2, X2. If we know anything about X2, we know that you start getting your powers when you hit puberty. And you also get your powers from your dad's chromosomes. So those two things are important to know. So he was sick, and we also get to see Sabretooth. I forget his name.
Victor Creed.
Victor Creed. We also get to see Sabretooth as a child as well, but he's older than Logan. And they're in the room, and he goes, "You're always sick." And Wolverine goes, child Wolverine goes, "You were sick at my age," because again, it starts at puberty. He's older than him. Logan's like 10 or 11, so he's about to hit puberty. And then a love triangle ensues between the two parents of Logan and the dad of Victor Creed, and he kills Thomas Logan, and he's fighting over Martha Logan. I think that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Martha. So
Was it?
no.
I already forgot because she wasn't important.
No, I just, there's Thomas, there's Martha. I mean, somebody's got to die.
It works out usually.
So either way, so yeah, there's a whole thing. He ends up killing Victor Creed's dad, and he reveals that he's actually Logan's dad, which makes Sabretooth and Wolverine brothers, which we don't talk about anymore. And then we get to see a time traveling thing where, because this was set in the 1800s, and we get to see a time traveling thing where they traveled through all the different wars in America, even though they were in Canada. But yeah,
we're connected.
We see the Civil War, we see World War I and II, we see Vietnam, and then that's where we end at to present day. Or did we ever figure out the timeline?
Not really.
It's like the 80s or the 90s. I think it's like the 90s or whatever. Yeah. I mean, and they're working, Sabretooth and Wolverine are working with William Stryker, and it gets to a point where Wolverine's like, hey, we're doing too much unnecessary killing of innocent people. He leaves the team, and then fast forward to more present day, we find that Victor Creed is now hunting down the old team, killing the old team because of reasons. They don't really say why. They don't say why he's killing the old team, do they?
Kinda. Because they say that he's like hunting, that they were like hunting mutants to keep them safe from the bad guys.
That's fair.
And it turns out that they were like, Stryker was like collecting mutants.
That's
to
fair.
Combine their powers.
They got nothing from the Blob, and they got nothing from Bolt.
They didn't come out. He just killed him, apparently.
Right. So that's what I mean.
Didn't come after the Blob.
And then he killed
Will.i.am.
Will.i.am.
And they showed him like with a syringe on him.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Reynolds could teleport.
Weapon 11.
Yes. Ryan Reynolds. Not actually,
Deadpool.
but yes. He could teleport.
Deadpool could teleport.
Yes.
Like always. Comic accurate.
No!
We'll get to that. I'm just telling the plot.
We're gonna.
We're just Deadpool. This is Deadpool 1. Yeah.
It's Deadpool Origins. Ryan Reynolds.
So that's pretty much it. And then it goes, like I said, they collect mutants trying to develop weapon 11. They end up developing weapon 10, which is Wolverine. They get his adamantium because before that it was just his bones coming out of his skin, which was fun. And yeah, and then after that, that's it. That's really the plot. It's a pretty simple plot. I'm not gonna CGI it up too much, I don't want to overshadow anybody. But yeah, I say we get to some likes if we have it.
Okay.
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Tag team it.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
The first thing I wrote was Brothers at War.
Facts.
Because that was a really good part of the movie. Seeing them through, what was it, like Civil War, World War I, was it Vietnam?
Vietnam, yeah.
And I'm guessing like a Gulf War situation type thing. I thought that was sweet, just seeing the both of them out there just wrecking people. And I liked it. Conspicuous by its absence, World War II.
No, that was in it.
Was it?
Yeah. When they were getting off the boat in the water, that's World War II.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's why I asked you about Saving Private Ryan, because that's the way it happens in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
They're
okay.
going
I thought that was
Beach.
a different war.
Yeah, so like basically, you never seen it, but in Saving Private Ryan, it's way more gory and it really fucked me up. But like, they come on these boats where the top of the boats, there's nothing on it.
Yeah.
You can't see over the side of the boat, but then the front raises down or lowers down, and they're literally sitting ducks.
You just like get funneled into the gunfire.
Yeah, basically. They wait until they do it, and then they just start shooting everybody in the head. And then after like the second or third boat that happens to, people start jumping over the sides into the water, like in the Saving Private Ryan movie. Like people are just dying. Like I don't understand how we won, because they were dying. But people were starting. Listen, I give it up to them. It wouldn't be me.
Nope.
It wouldn't be me. So
I could never.
But yeah, it was two. I think it was one. It was Civil War 1, 2, Vietnam.
Okay.
I think that's what it seemed like to me. That's what it seemed like.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But I thought it was cool. I liked it because it definitely gave you the sense that like these two had a history, because you saw them as kids and you're like, oh, we're on the run. That's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna keep running. We're never gonna look back. And anyone that gets in our way, we're gonna kill them.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I just liked the fact that, because that's pretty much what they did. Like, what do they probably could have done anything else.
Yeah.
But like
What else did you do?
they were like nameless, jobless, homeless people that like what else were they gonna do but like probably fall into the ranks of the military at some point.
Yeah, makes sense.
And like you can get by with they feed you, clothe you, give you a place to stay, and all they really ask is that you kill people that they point you at
Or die.
Yes, and they couldn't do that
Right. So
because they tried killing them.
they had
They put them on a firing squad.
Firing
They fucking
squad.
shot him. He's like, wake
I
me up
feel
when we're
like-
done.
that was after Vietnam, which was weird. Because I'm pretty sure firing squads didn't exist after like the 1700s.
I don't know.
So yeah, because it was after Vietnam. Because infamously in Vietnam, soldiers absolutely tried to, well, basically they did rape and pillage Vietnam. So, and that's what they were kind of showing when.
Yeah, because they killed they killed like their commanding officer, didn't they?
Well, yeah, because Victor Creed was definitely about to rape that woman, and then Logan stopped him, and then they were about to shoot.
Yeah, because they were like, what the fuck
Creed.
are you?
Yeah, and then they were about to shoot Creed, and then Logan started killing people, and then Creed started killing people, and then they were like back to back. So you never see that again. So, but yeah, I agree. I had that too. That was my first like because why not?
Yeah.
It was a good scene.
It was a really good scene.
It was kind of one of the best parts of the movie.
To be fair, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but it is.
No,
But it is true.
it's very true.
Okay. Next.
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
I like Ryan Reynolds, and I thought he was hilarious, especially when he was just fucking Wade. No, not Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
Was he Wade Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
He's Wade. Deadpool is Wade Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know why I was tripping. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? I'm tripping. Anyway, yeah, Ryan Reynolds. I thought he was funny, hilarious, and then when he got to show his powers, with not really powers, but his abilities with the swords, fucking sweet. That was a sweet scene to me. I mean, it was kind of cheesy, but I think it was sweet. And then that's kind of what we get from him.
Yeah. He's only in like the first 5 minutes and then the end.
Yeah, and I like him. I like Ryan Reynolds. I think he's fucking hilarious.
That's fair.
People are dead. Like that was it.
That's fair.
Like he was just he stole the scenes he was in. And to be fair, for me personally, this came out in 2009. This was like the only movie I liked with him in it besides Blade Trinity.
I was gonna say
Easily. Blade Trinity is my favorite.
him
It's
fighting
so
Triple
good.
H, baby.
Yeah. And he was funny in that. Like Ryan Reynolds is a funny
He was
man.
like the same character, basically.
Same. A movie I didn't know he was in until I watched it. Hobbs and Shaw. Why? I don't know. But he was in it. And I was like, what?
I wouldn't guess it.
I didn't either. Kevin Hart was in it. Didn't know he was going to be in it. So literally the cast was The Rock, Jason Statham, Idris Elba, Ryan Reynolds, Kevin Hart. What's the old lady name that the people in the office want to bang?
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. She's in it. She's Jason Statham's mom.
That's a pretty good cast.
Dude, yeah, I was watching it like, what? Okay, I'll take that.
Was that the one with John Cena in it? Or no, was that was a different
That was Fast and Furious 9.
Okay.
F9.
Okay.
Yeah, when they go to space. Good times. Yeah, I love space. It's so good.
Oh yeah, and Roman Reigns was in it, wasn't he?
Yeah, because they went to.
I knew there was another wrestler. They went to
yeah.
like the Isle of Samoa, where all the cookies come from.
Yeah. Yep. They went there, and Roman Reigns was one of his brothers.
Yeah.
So it was pretty sweet. I like that movie. But anyway, we're talking about Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds was my like.
Okay.
So I'll let you go.
I liked Will.i.am's character.
I did too.
I liked Rafe. Mostly his teleporting, because when he did it, you saw his fucking skeleton and
It was
shit.
awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
And it kind of played into his death also.
It did, which I thought was sweet. The way he died was sweet.
Yeah, because he was like warping around, beating up Sabretooth. I was like, well, first off, you knew he wasn't going to beat him because he survived a fucking firing squad, and he was like, oh, I got these big ass turquoise rings on. I'm just going to teleport around him and punch him up a little bit. Like, this will get him. No,
first time I saw it, I was like, this is good. I don't even know if I said, honestly, remember, first time I saw it, it was shitty. Yeah. But I was loving it.
So there was no effects in the first time you saw this movie. There was no effects.
There were some effects. Okay,
so was it just him like he throw a punch and then he walks around leisurely or like runs around behind him?
No.
And then they're like, all right, cut. Action.
It wasn't
punch,
that bad.
Cut.
It would be hilarious. Director's cut. No, the teleporting was there. Mm-hmm. It was just like stuff that they would have to fix in post was there.
Yeah. Like
the airplane was there, but when he jumped off into the water, it was weird.
He jumped on like a mattress.
Yeah, it was fucking like you saw like it looked like they put the computer graphics in, but they didn't finish it. And so like when he was skipping across the water, it was like a stick figure or something. I was just like, yo.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
I was like, yo. But like I said, it didn't really get much better when I saw the actual movie from the bootleg. And I was like, oh yeah, they're going to make these claws look 1,000 times better. I know we'll get to that, so let me stop. But yes, you go. William, I am.
Yeah, I thought he was cool. His, mostly his teleporting power was sweet. And he was like just about the only reasonable person on the team at a certain point, aside from like Dominic Monaghan seemed pretty level-headed, but like everybody else seemed to develop some kind of problems, whether it was a murdering problem that they already had that they were just given an outlet for.
Oh, you mean like after the team up?
Yes.
Dominic Monaghan was not okay.
And during.
He was not okay.
What do you mean?
That man was...
He was living his light bulb trailer. He was... Well, he didn't turn into a murderer.
I think he was more of a pedophile.
Oh my god. He was a carny.
He's
small hands. Smell like cabbage.
I mean, I said what I said.
He's a gypsy.
I was like, oh. Okay. Well.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he was a great person. I'm just saying he didn't turn out to be a murderer.
I feel like he needed therapy. That's what
they probably all did. They all did, to be honest. But yeah, like Will.i.am's character was like pretty level-headed. He, it's mostly because his teleporting was pretty sweet, and I liked the way that it looked.
Yeah, it did look
because it was different. Because everyone knows Nightcrawler's teleporting, puff of smoke, bam, the brimstone, and he's there and he's not.
Yeah,
Will.i.am's was different, and I liked it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And I just really liked the fact you could see like his skeleton and his fucking like exposed muscles and shit sometimes when he would teleport. And when he was fighting Sabretooth, he just like stuck his arm out and he fucking knew where it was gonna be, and he was like, oh, I feel your spine. Funny, I didn't think you had one. And I was like, ooh.
I know, that's too much now.
I was like, that was pretty cool.
And that's what I said, like, I didn't expect that to happen. He was like, there's one thing I always wanted to tell you. And I'm like, what's about that? Oh my god.
Yeah, I forgot. I was like, how does he die? I know he's gonna die.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I've seen this movie too many times. It's my favorite movie of all time.
Sub-Zero.
Best comic book movie ever. I'll say that again later. But yeah. What else you got?
Anywho.
William, I am.
Oh, that's it for him.
Okay.
Too angry to think. No, I'm having a good time.
I wrote Wolverine not being a mass murderer for nothing. His story arc for this movie honestly was pretty good because like they showed him like his brother, like, hey, we're brothers, we gotta protect each other when they were running through the woods as kids. And then they did the whole back to back and they were fighting all these soldiers and that was great. And then you could tell Victor Creed was getting like bloodthirsty. He was like a bloodlust. He was shooting a village. He was and of people. And Wolverine's like, that's enough. And he didn't want to stop killing people. And then that's kind of where you see like Wolverine kind of turn, or like kind of turn. He was like, we're at war, but we don't need to be psychotic.
Yeah,
which is just fair. and then when they killed all those people were they in Africa or no? They were in Lagos. Is that Africa?
No, they were in.
I thought he said Lagos.
Which part of it? Because they were in Nigeria when they went to that like Diamond Lord's house.
Oh, the last one.
And they were just like the team was like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then they went to. Was that in Lagos then when they went to the village and were like holding everybody?
Nah,
when they were looking for the adamantium.
I think it was the other way around. I think because they were on the plane when boat. He was like, "We're pulling in Lagos now," and or whatever. Lagos was like 5 minutes away. He was like, "Take the plane down, whatever." Yeah, that was so. If they were in Nigeria, then Nigeria. So he quit in Nigeria, if that's where he was at, and he quit because they were about to just murder a whole bunch of innocent people in the village, and Wolverine stopped it. So it was pretty great. So I like that part. I like Wolverine not being bloodthirsty for no reason. X2 bloodthirsty because he's trying to protect some kids. So I get it. Like he doesn't just kill because
he killed all of those men.
Facts. So that's what I'm saying. Like he's not killing people for no reason, and it kind of shows how like he's a good guy. Like he's a good guy. Everybody else is like, oh, we kill for whatever reason. Yeah,
like he was doing it for like defense or self-preservation, or like to protect somebody. Right. And Sabretooth was just like, I just like killing people.
Yeah, and that made him a good guy. Yeah. And I like that story arc of this movie, so it was good.
Okay,
that was my like.
My next like is honestly the Blob.
It was funny.
I enjoyed it. Like he was funny. It was funny when they were on the plane, and he had the fucking tattoo of the woman on his arm. And he's like, "Oh, that tattoo there you got there." He's like, "I love her." He's like, "You met her like an hour ago, or you met her like last night." And he's like, "She's a gymnast." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, one of them good old boys. And then you see him again, and Will.i.am's like, "Oh, he developed an eating disorder," and everyone knows the Blob's this like giant fat dude who is just like a fucking tank man.
Yeah.
And he boxes him, and you see that same tattoo on his arm, and it is not the same tattoo on his arm.
What does Wolverine say?
He's like, I remember that lady when she weighed 80 pounds or something. And it's like, because he's a big fat dude, he's got like giant fucking biceps. The whole, like before he did
even
too.
Before,
even before he did, but he also does now. And the tattoo is now of like a fat woman on his arm. It's like, that's kind of, I was like, that's kind of fucking funny.
That was really funny.
And he's like in the ring, like he's got us like a Slurpee on the plane. He was eating like candy bars and shit. And I just liked it because he was always a character in the old cartoon and the old fucking video game. I remember you had to beat his ass. He was like the second boss, maybe in the first boss of the old arcade game. Because I remember he'd come out, he'd be like, nothing moves the Blob, and he just beat the shit out of him. And when you hit him enough, he just fucking falls on his ass. And he gets back up and he just do it again. And I thought it was funny. He was like, something moves the Blob, and he just beat him up.
Fair.
But he got his chance in the ring, $18,000 and a chance at the title. And they were boxing dirty. He fucking headbutted Wolverine. Mistake.
First mistake.
And then Wolverine jumps off the fucking middle turnbuckle on him with a atomic elbow drop like he was the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and knocked his ass out before putting the claws to him and like, tell me everything you know. And he literally is like, oh, all I know is
everything.
All I know is Stryker's the one you're looking for. He's running this whole operation. He's kidnapping mutants to combine their powers. They're on some island somewhere, and Victor's working for him. But that's everything that I know. And you and I were actually like, that's literally everything that he could have known.
Fair.
But I liked it because it was funny, and I always enjoyed the Blob character from the old comics in the game. And he called him Bub. And he's like, just call me Blob. He's like, what? No, I didn't. I told you not to mention his weight. I didn't say it. And then he's like, he puts him out of the fucking ring with like a single punch. Yeah. And I think he does it a couple more times. I thought that scene was fun.
That's a great time.
And you got to see like a glimpse of his mutant power, because you didn't really see his mutant power in the boxing ring. You saw it at the beginning when he's like, Dukes, tank, and he just sticks his arm in the fucking tank barrel, and it just explodes when it fires, because his power is you can't fucking like move him. He has like a thing where he's like he's the opposite Juggernaut. Where, like, he's an immovable object versus the like unstoppable force. And in some instances, I think he has like an unbreakable hide type thing, like a Luke Cage type thing, but like leathery and rubbery, tough, not like you just can't fucking break it, like Luke Cage type thing. But I thought he was cool.
It's fair.
I thought it was kind of funny.
I agree.
But that was my next one.
My next, like, Victor Creed.
Yes.
I thought Mr. Young Ray Donovan did a great job. Honestly, a lot of people didn't like, from what I know about this movie, a lot of people didn't like him, and I thought he was great. I thought that he kind of, that's the thing about comic book movies sometimes, in my opinion, you can tell when an actor who's like a good actor, in my opinion at least, comes on the screen. You're like, oh, okay, he's doing a great job. It's just like Professor X, like Charles, like having Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in the first X-Men and all the X-Men, but in the first one, you're like, okay, now we're here. Listen up, Scorsese. Look at this shit. Shit's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I thought he was great. I thought he did a great job as Victor Creed. I didn't really mind the nails because that's kind of how they are.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree, and I think I was one of those people at one point who was like, I don't really care for him, or like I thought the nails looked dumb, but also I was misremembering things. I thought I remembered him having I remembered them giving him adamantium in the movie, and I was like, well, that's not correct. And I think I remember,
wanted it, yeah.
And I think I remember at one point in the past, like on a past episode, I'm like, oh yeah, he had like silver press on nails. Like, no, that was Lady Deathstrike, and hers like made sense because that's where fucking adamantium came out of.
Right.
So I had the two mixed up.
Oh, okay.
I was incorrect, and I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I'm going to agree with you. I thought he did a good job as Sabretooth. He was a damn sight better than whoever the fuck played Sabretooth in the first X-Men.
Taylor Mane. I don't know why I remember that name.
Because for one, he got like a line, and he looked like a goober. Like, I get what they were going for, but
I think the X-Men one, I think his look was more comic accurate, but he looked better because it just made more sense.
Yeah, because like his comic look still wasn't that, and there was no way they could have made him look like that. So it was like give him like weird long fucking eyebrows and everything. And I was like, honestly, less was more in this case.
And I agree, and that's the one thing that especially a lot of comic book fans have to realize. Sometimes you can't. It's impossible for people to look the way they're supposed to look.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks great. Sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, sometimes we're limited by the technology of our time.
That's also fair.
Because like Deadpool 2 Juggernaut looked fucking sweet.
Yeah.
X-Men 3 Juggernaut didn't really.
Yeah, fair.
And obviously there was significant time passed between those two movies.
It's true.
But maybe they could have, maybe they couldn't. They didn't. But I thought less was more in this case for Liev Schreiber's Sabretooth, because he wasn't over the top weird looking. Like the other guy, I get what they were going for, but he ended up just looking dumb.
Yeah.
And in this one, they're like, just give him some claws and give him some fucking big ass sideburns
chops
and some teeth and go for it. Because
I like the teeth. Here's the thing.
I didn't at first, and then the more I watched it, I was like, no. It didn't look bad because they weren't like sticking out of his fucking mouth all the time. Like when they want, I forgot the notice of like when they wanted you to see him, you saw him.
Like when he was being a menace.
You saw him.
When he was like being like sly or lying or something, like he kind of like smiled. Like before he killed Bolt or whatever, like that was like, he was like, oh, I thought Wade would be visiting me. No, just me. And I forgot what else he said after that.
He's like, Wade's gone. And he's like, I'm not scared of you, Victor.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not afraid to die. He's like, you never tried it before.
And then you see the teeth, and I was like, this guy.
Yeah, see, I think it was at that point. I was like, I kind of like him.
Let me tell you,
I was wrong about
this is where I liked him. Scream. He plays this character, Cotton Weary. He is in jail for the murder of the main character, Sidney Prescott's mom, because he was sleeping with her. And he is amazing in those movies. And I love him. I love him in all the Screams. He's been in 3 of them, I think. He was in the first one as like a cameo role because they were just showing him going to jail because he got, like I said, he got arrested. And then in the second one, they find out that, the person who played Scream or the Ghostface or whatever he actually killed her mom, so he got let free in the second one, and he was just a fucking, what do you say, goober? He was a fucking goober. But he was so good. He was funny. He was just, and that's, so like, my first introduction to this guy, I forget his real name now. Shit. What's his real name?
Of who?
Creed.
Victor Creed? Liev Schreiber?
Liev Schreiber. The only thing I knew about him was Scream, and I thought that, I was like, yeah, he's a murderer in Scream. And so when I saw this movie, I was like, oh, that's the murderer guy. And so like it just kind of sealed the deal for me. And I was
it
just
still
like,
fits in this one.
Yeah, he's a murderer for sure.
Look, he's a big murderer.
Ironically, he was in a movie years ago that I'm sure somebody has mentioned on Twitter already. The Manchurian Candidate. You ever seen that?
I have not.
Do you know what it's about? Sleeper agent Russian person.
Yeah.
It's the one that came out in the 90s was Denzel Washington and Liev Schreiber. Okay. They were soldiers that got brainwashed by... Liev Schreiber was a Russian agent, and I think Denzel was an American agent or whatever. It's a whole thing. And it's a plot to kill, I think, the president or something, or to change the election. And so, like I said, somebody's probably mentioned him. Go figure, but yeah, I saw that years later. It was okay. It wasn't that great. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, so Victor Creed. Victor Creed was my next like. So
yeah, I agree.
Oh, there you go.
I think I'm out.
I knew it. I'm like, are you trying to find a like?
I think I'm empty.
That's fine.
If I got to reach for it, I don't have any more.
That's fine. I got a couple. Okay. I got a couple more. His leather jacket. I thought it was pretty sweet. Wolverine's leather jacket that he gets from the old man. I think close to comic accurate, right?
Is that the same? What did he wear that in the X-Men trilogy movies? Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah. But it was weird though because I think that was Scott's jacket in the X-Men movies, or was it just no? It might not have been. That was his motorcycle. Sorry. That was his jacket, but maybe not. But anyway, yeah, he had the same jacket on, and I was like, ooh, I like that. That's cool because when Wolverine doesn't have on its yellow spandex, he has on like this leather jacket in the comics, and I love it when he's like being a real person with the haircut that matches his outfit.
Fits right in his mask. Fits right inside that
like
mask.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I remember even when I was younger, I was like, okay.
It'd be like if Captain America took off his little hat or his little hood cowl thing, and he had little fucking wings in his hair.
Exactly.
Just like sticking out of his head. It'd be like that.
I was like, you got mask hair? Is that what?
Yeah. Or Daredevil takes his mask off and he's got like two little fucking horns in his hair.
I love it. So yeah, leather jacket was cool. The only Scott Summers I like was this movie. Simple and plain. Will I Am not bad. I already said that. Just let me go on my rant.
I'm not stopping.
Let me go on my rant, Chris.
I would never stop you.
Remy LeBeau.
Stop. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No. Go ahead. Remy
LeBeau / Gambit. Best part of the movie for me. Okay, I love Gambit. The fact that he wasn't in any of the X-Men's ever
was a fucking crime.
Is a crime against humanity.
And you think they were like, no, we're gonna save him for the Wolverine prequel movie, and then we're never gonna use him again.
Get this. Never.
What? Never? No, never. Not even once. We're gonna. Will
you use him when he's funny? Only. When
he's gonna. Remember how we had him as like a little Easter egg in the third one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we're gonna put him in a movie that was probably like 20 years set prior, easily, probably more,
at least.
And yeah, that's it.
He's gonna fly a plane.
Yeah,
he's gonna have an accent. Here's the thing: the best CGI of the movie was him using his cards. When he did the whole like, and then shot him at Wolverine, I was like, that was amazing.
That part was cool.
That was so good. And then his little stick, his little cane or whatever, loved it. When he came down and was like, did the fucking "you shall not pass" to fucking Wolverine and whatever his name, Victor Creed. Great. I was like, he's so good. And then that was it.
Yep. Because then we'll get there.
So that was it. And then he did the stick thing again with like an actual stick this time because his cane was broken. But he did it again to save Wolverine's life, which didn't really need to save his life, but it's fine.
He didn't.
But I was gonna say the audience doesn't know it, but the audience knows that too. Huh. Either way, he came back.
The audience knows that Wolverine basically can't fucking die.
Yeah, basically.
Within the context of these movies, at least.
With the context of yes, fair,
and we know that he survives.
And also, like there was what was it called, a cooling tower or a nuclear tower? One of the the Simpsons thing.
Yeah,
it was falling on him, and Remy LeBeau comes out of nowhere.
Literally out of nowhere.
He did get
a good 100 feet in the air.
He was so high. Can he jump like that?
No. I don't fucking think so. Unless he used his power to blast himself up in the air.
Yeah.
And let's say he did. He then sliced that thing with a stick.
It was great. I think that was his, because he has kinetic power, right?
Yeah, he charges shit with energy and it explodes.
And so I think that's what the stick, yeah.
I still didn't like it.
I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was great. Either way, that's my like.
Okay.
Next
There's another.
There's one more.
Okay.
Let me go on my rant again.
Oh shit! No, I do have one.
Okay, go ahead.
Charles
Xavier.
Yes.
Hated it.
Really?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's fair.
He didn't look. I will talk about it later. I didn't write it down, but that's a dislike for me. But go ahead.
Okay, that's it. It's just a real quick one. I liked him. I liked that he was in there.
That's fair. I didn't. We'll talk about it.
Legs notwithstanding.
They were standing.
Yes, and they were.
It's the biggest problem of the whole fucking movie. Yeah. Okay. One more like. Again, let me rant.
Yeah. That's what this is.
I had to collect the powers for the pool. And I was like, cool. Deadpool. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, yes, of course. And then, here's the thing, to be fair, I don't read comics. I don't remember Deadpool. I only remember from this movie. So 2009, when this movie came out, was my first introduction to Deadpool.
Okay.
I thought Weapon 11 was fucking amazing. And the fact that he was Deadpool, and here's the thing, that after the credit scene, the one where he's alive, didn't know, that wasn't on my version, my bootleg.
Yeah.
I didn't see that till a couple years ago. Legit a couple years ago. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's gonna go into the Deadpool movie. See, that made sense that's what I thought, at least. I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. And then I found out that Deadpool and this Deadpool are totally different. And I was like, oh, okay. I get why people don't like Deadpool.
This version of it.
This version of him.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I liked it. Because, and then he had Scott's laser beam eyes, which I get it, But also, I thought it was sweet. I was like, oh shit. When I first watched it, I was like, this guy, Weapon 11 is cool. I thought he was sweet. And then he had the adamantium swords come out of his hands. I can laugh about it because I get it, but I liked it.
Okay.
And then he could teleport, Wraith or whatever, like that.
Okay.
And he can heal, and I was like, what? No,
they got something right.
Deadpool can't heal.
Yeah,
not like
that's
that.
his only power. Oh yeah, it's definitely like that. He has a better healing factor than Wolverine.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, because in the movies they show him healing over time, not right away like it was in this movie. He got stabbed, pulled it out, and it was like, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but in his movies they show him get hurt, so you can see it, and then he heals because when he does the bullet sword thing and the dude just shoots him the whole fucking time. He heals immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, because the part where he gets ripped in half, he's got the little legs afterwards.
So that's why I was thinking over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, his other stuff, he heals faster than Wolverine. That's what keeps him. That's what keeps him alive. Because otherwise, when they take away his power, you saw Deadpool 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they put the power dampening collars on him to put him in the jail, he was like, "Yeah, I'm dying." He's like, "My only power is super cancer."
Goddamn. Fair. He does say, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that's the thing. So I get why people don't like it, but it's because it was my first introduction and I didn't know anything about the comics. Again, honestly,
you didn't know how good it could be.
Well, and the fact that when the lasers came out of his eyes, it turned into like his mask. I was like, this is listen. It holds a special place in my heart because it was the first time, and I didn't know.
I always remember.
I was just about to say that. I was like,
sometimes you want to forget the first time.
No, I'm good. And I love, and it's Ryan Reynolds, so I like Ryan Reynolds. I have no issues with it. So I was like, oh shit. And also, it wasn't really Ryan Reynolds. It was Scott Adkins, as we know. But I was like, oh, Ryan Reynolds, and he can't talk, and he's the merc with the mouth, and like, because I kind of looked him up, but I didn't like look him up to like, you know, shatter my real view of him. I was just like, who is this guy? Who's Deadpool? And I was like, oh man. And then. Yeah, and when the Deadpool movie was coming out, that's when I saw that. I think that's when I saw the after credit scene. So it was like a good 5 years after, because Deadpool came out like what 2016, 17, something like that. Or no, it was a little bit before that. It was like 14 or 15. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. This is like, I really thought it was like Wolverine's origins.
Maybe like 15, 16, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and then the second one came out like 17, 18, something like that. I thought it was like a direct. I was like, okay, we got something out of Wolverine's origin. Because again, even when Deadpool came out, I still hadn't seen the Wolverine yet. Because I was tired of Wolverine, honestly. They gave us too much of him, and yeah, they just gave us way too much.
He was the star of the franchise until the First Class movies, and then they brought him back for that.
Yeah, they brought him back for that.
So,
like I said, he was in every movie but like what, 2? I think we figured it out last time.
I think so.
Yeah. So it was just like. I was just tired of it. And I was like, Wolverine, it's not gonna be good. Yes, I can't wait to watch it. Have you seen it?
What?
The Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I only remember seeing it. I think I've only seen it start to finish one time.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
And I remember enjoying it quite a bit.
I've seen it 3 or 4 times now. I love it. To be fair,
we'll see if it holds up to my memory. But I remember enjoying it.
And then Logan came out, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna die in this one." I'm like, "Good, great." And then. Now they're talking about rebooting it. They said, I don't know if it was. I've heard a rumor that they're gonna bring back another Wolverine, and I'm like, and there's so many people. I saw a video on TikTok. I saw something on Twitter like, there are over. Well, somebody said 900 mutants. Why do we keep going back to the same one? And I was like, facts. They were like, you can do any story you want to because the stories are great about some of these mutants, and we keep getting on Wolverine. And I was like, it's the Spider-Man thing. Because he's the most popular one.
Yeah, he's marketable.
He's marketable. They're just trying to make money.
Yeah.
But there's so many more characters. Like Storm, her whole story is amazing. And when they went into it in Apocalypse, I was hoping they would do more, but it was cool. But yeah, there's so many more, man. So yeah, I was tired of Wolverine.
That's fair. Because like everybody loves the anti-hero, and he's very much like the edgy anti-hero. But there's so many other characters.
There's too many other characters, and that's the thing. Like, dude, just give us somebody else. Like, now Cyclops. But
I was gonna say give us Cyclops, but do it good. Don't make him a whiny. Don't make him a whiny bitch the whole time.
Yeah. Or Gambit, sans Channing Tatum. You know. Yeah. That's just me. But anyway, those are my likes.
Okay.
Dislikes.
Here we go.
Your likes, Keith, and all that.
No, I cannot. I can't tell you that you're wrong. For
you can, Chris. You can. You're a nice guy. I'm not. People are wrong about movies sometimes.
That's fair.
And they're wrong about what they like about movies.
Because just because I don't agree with something that you like doesn't mean that I am like mad about it. Or I'm like, well, I don't like that you like that.
All the time.
Because it doesn't make me like it any less. It doesn't make me like the thing that I like less. It doesn't make me like you less.
That's fair.
So like it doesn't.
Other people though? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you like that? Oh, I hate that now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That happens to me all the time. I don't really like crowd favorite things. Like, I really usually don't.
See, that's why I say that I sometimes feel like I'm a contrarian every now and then, because everyone's like, this Batman movie that's coming out. Everyone's like, oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to look so good, look so good. It's not out yet. So shut your fucking mouth. Just wait for it to come out. Stop telling me how good it is before you've even seen it. See it and then have an opinion on it.
That's fair.
You can be like, oh, it looks good. Fine. Don't tell me it's going to be the best movie ever.
Most crowd favorites I don't like, to be fair. Just because it's like, oh, all those people like it. And you know, and this, let me tell you what I think about what am I trying to say? People as a group. People as a group. It's what Tommy Lee Jones said in Men in Black. A person can be smart and intelligent, but people are dumb, panicky creatures. And I agree. So when a group of people like one thing, why? I need to know why. Because here's the thing, I can like it, but I have to know why.
I'm comfortable being the only one who likes something.
Oh, absolutely.
Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Up until 3 months ago.
You're not the only one, sir.
Oh, I know.
And let me tell you, I love it.
Up until a few
Did you see that? I'm sorry. Did you see that picture that they redid? I think I shared it on Twitter.
Of course.
Great.
Come on.
I meant to send it to you, but
I hate to be that guy, but like everybody saw it, and it was great.
Oh, for sure. I loved it. I was like, good for them.
It was amazing.
The fact that they're friends, they text each other. it's fucking amazing. And then, there was something I saw. I think might have been TikTok. I don't know. It was a video though. Tom Holland actually ruined Spider-Man: No Way Home. He actually leaked the spoiler, but nobody caught it. So the interviewer was talking to Andrew Garfield after, and he was like, so went back and looked at the interview with Tom Holland, and he actually gave it away, but that he wasn't the only Spider-Man in it. And he was like, and Andrew Garfield was just laughing his ass off. He's like, of course. He's like, but I didn't catch it at the time. I didn't realize until after the fact. And anyway, it was him and Zendaya talking. And she goes, yeah, one time I fell off of a big building and blah, blah, blah. And then Peter, he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, that was dangerous. He's like, but I wasn't there for that. And nothing. Like, that was it. And then, the video zooms in on him and he goes, I wasn't there for that. And I'm like, and he's like, and so people in the comments like, well, he could have meant his stunt double. But now we know it was Andrew Garfield. He
could have, but it just wasn't either one of those things.
I was like, yes. I was so happy.
It was better.
Yeah, so much better. I was like, yeah.
I cannot wait to watch that movie again.
Oh, man. When's it come out on Disney Plus? It's 2 weeks from now, right?
No, it's not coming to Disney Plus right away.
I thought it was.
From what I read, the first thing it's going to be on streaming is Stars.
What? Oh, because of Sony.
Yeah, you can buy it. Yeah. I think in a couple weeks you can buy it or something.
I have it on Vudu.
And I might.
I made my sister buy the 8-pack.
It's going to be included?
Mm-hmm. So you just have to wait until it comes out.
Can we just hang out and watch it sometime?
Absolutely. Oh, because I'm definitely watching it.
Yes, I want to.
Easy. Yeah, I was like, hey.
Megan can watch it too.
Yeah, oh yeah. I told her, I was like, hey, Spider-Man, you should buy the whole thing. She was like, you can get all of them? Because she hadn't seen it. She didn't go to the theater or whatever. And so she was like, oh, I'm buying it right now. Because I saw it was on sale. And I was like, and I made sure to look, and it was No Way Home. And so the other day, so this was a month ago, right? She bought it, whatever. It's there. If you click on it, it shows a trailer, and that's it. But the other day, they were marketing it Spider-Man No Way Home's out. And I was like, what? Went straight to Vudu, press play, trailer. I was like, someone's going to die. Because... fuck God. I was so pissed off because that's how I found out there was only a trailer. I didn't know that before. And I was like, play. It was trailer. I was like, I don't want that. Went back, play movie, trailer. I was like, what the fuck?
The whole thing, please.
I was like, what the fuck? Because it starts out with them laying on the roof. And I was like, this not how it starts out? I was like, this is, I was so mad. I was like, I gotta wait. Made me bleed my own blood.
I already waited for this movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We should definitely get together Sunday night, whatever. Easy peasy.
I'm down.
Easy peasy.
It's going to be the best.
Anytime.
It's going to be the best.
Yeah, I agree. Or Saturday night. Either way.
Whichever.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, dislikes.
Okay,
I'll let you go
let's
first.
do it. Deadpool. It wasn't the first thing I wrote down, but it's the first
I
thing
know
I'm going to
it's
go for. Deadpool was a dislike because I did know who the character was prior, and I just didn't like it. They were like, hey, here's this character that everybody knows, and is even at that point was a fairly popular character. Let's just fuck him up. Because he can teleport in the comics, but he has it's like a belt buckle, like a teleporter thing. It's a gadget. He has, because his only power is the healing factor.
Yeah.
And it's like really, really good healing factor, but like they gave him the ability to teleport, I guess, because then you have to be like, oh well, we built you a teleporter build, because that would have been weird also.
Yeah.
They could have just not had him fucking teleport. But then how's he gonna beat up two guys at once? I guess aside from just being really good at fighting, which
on top of a power plant,
which was also pointless. He only we'll get there.
I get it.
Deadpool, they had all these mutants that they had captured for one. Mm-hmm. He got 2 powers. Well, 3. He got the healing power, the eye lasers, and the teleportation.
Oh, and the swords.
I'm not counting that because...
But that's like Wolverine's stick. You know what I mean? But it's also his...
Yeah.
It was his version.
He was I thought that was also kind of pointless. The swords coming out of his arms, because he was already clearly really good at using them. Yeah. And if anything, that limits your use.
It really did. I agree with that. I agree with you on that. It does limit. It'd be better to have the swords available.
Yeah. Because it wasn't like, ooh, I've got these swords sticking out of my arms.
But Chris.
Because now my hands are fucking useless also.
But Chris, if he has to carry him on his back, how are you gonna see him shirtless? That doesn't.
That's fair.
You know, they got to show off the goods.
Yes, they got to show off. What was his name? Scott Atkins.
Hey, listen.
They got to show him.
He had an 8-pack in the front, had a couple on the side,
and they drew him on the back and everything too.
I loved it. I was like, "This guy go."
I didn't like the no mouth thing. Like, I get it, because he's like, oh, at the beginning, it's like, if you'd be the perfect soldier if you kept your mouth shut. And he's like, oh, they finally found a way to shut you up. Great. It still didn't look great.
To be fair, that shot that they show his head, like when she's looking at her cover,
it's like stitched up.
That is not on my version of.
No,
that was never on my version. I never knew that, because I'm like, oh, that's Ryan Reynolds. I would have been like, I think they gave it away, and I'm like, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, because
to shoot that shot,
because it was stitched up, and then like a little bit later, it was like melted.
Yeah,
and then at the end, it opened like when he did the shh thing for the post credit scene. And also, like, even during the movie, there were parts where, like, it was just, like, a smooth surface. And then there were parts, like, you could see a mouth under it. And then other parts you couldn't. And I was like, it didn't look good. Yeah. The eye lasers... They gave him Cyclops' eye lasers. Mm-hmm. They also had to have fucking fixed his eye lasers. Because he was looking at people without blasting their heads off with lasers. Cyclops can't do that.
That's fair.
Cyclops has to have the glasses or a visor or some ruby quartz material in front of his eyeballs to keep the lasers from killing people. Deadpool was just looking at people and it was like, oh shit, I got lasers. Bing! And then...
Did they have Superman back there?
And then he wasn't lasering.
Right.
And then he was, and then he wasn't.
Right.
And then they cut his head off and it just like went ape shit.
Well, he was doing it as his head got cut off, so
yeah,
you can't turn it off now.
But like they fixed Cyclops' power.
Yeah, no, fair.
To give to him, and I was like, I didn't really like that.
That's fair. I think it was more Superman's power. They had Superman back there for sure.
They must have, because those were fucking heat lasers, and that is not Cyclops' eye beams. Also.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I think you're right about that.
Because and they looked like they were doing both. Because he was shooting the lasers at Wolverine and he was blocking him with his claws, and they got like red hot fucking glowing metal claws. And then he turns around and looks at Sabretooth and fucking lasers him into the ground, which was the cooling tower they were standing on. And then Wolverine just like helps him up, and his shirt's not even wrinkled.
Not even a little bit. I did see that.
Nothing. And when Sabretooth fucking tackled Cyclops in the school building, he lasered through the fucking roof, and there was flames and shit everywhere, which I could see because there's probably gas lines and shit in the school and electricals that were catching on fire. But I don't know why it bugs me so much. Cyclops' eye beams are like, what's the word? Like a concussive blast. It's not like a heat. Okay. It's not like a heat ray like Superman. It's not like a fucking death ray that's gonna like pierce through you. It's like getting hit by a fucking truck.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I don't know why
sense.
that's a big deal to me.
No, it is a big deal. Because if it's different, then it's different.
Yeah, and that's
fair.
And when I thought of this during the thing, I was like, okay, they gave Deadpool a teleporting power. What if they were like, oh, look, here's Cyclops, but instead of eye lasers, he just has guns strapped to his head? And it's like, that would be dumb, too. And I wouldn't like it. And they kind of did the reverse of it. They took away the gadget instead of, like, giving him one. And I just didn't like it. But yeah, Deadpool, I've gone on long enough about it. I didn't care for it. We get it, in my opinion, a much better version in his own movie.
Oh, for sure.
And in that, like, because I knew who he was previously. I'd seen him in some comics, not a ton. Couple video games. He got his own video game, I think, after this movie came out, but like around the time that his movie came out. Like, there was a Deadpool game and it was pretty decent. Yeah. But like, I knew who he was prior, and he wasn't like my favorite character. Still isn't like my favorite Marvel character. He's cool.
He's funny.
And I have more than a few Deadpool comics because they're funny.
Yeah.
And they're pretty violent, and I enjoyed it. But yeah, dislike Deadpool. Let's move on.
I only have one, so I'll wait till you say it because I know we have the same one.
Okay. Wolverine's claws went from looking good in some shots to looking like shit in some shots to going. They went back and forth. And in the first 3 X-Men movies, I thought they were pretty consistently good looking.
Yeah, they looked amazing.
And in this movie, there were scenes where, for one, they looked comically fucking large.
They were huge.
When he shot those claws out in that old couple's bathroom, they were gigantic.
It reminded. I couldn't think of what it was. I told you. I said something about Roger Rabbit, but I couldn't think of what it was. But it was when the fake sword came out, and Eddie had the sword, and I was like, "That's what it looks like. It looks like that."
It looked like they drew him on.
Huge. It looks like a human with a toy with a cartoon.
And he was like clanking them together, and like sparks and shit were shooting off, and it did not look good. Like, in most of the action scenes, they look pretty decent.
Yeah.
Like in that scene, the one where he did the sharp turn on the motorcycle and used his claws as like to help him drift, I didn't think they looked great there.
I didn't check them out.
There was a couple instances where they did not look good. There were some where they did.
Yeah.
But also noticeable to me, no blood on them anytime. And I get, like, if they come out of his body, whatever. Yeah. They were inside Liev Schreiber multiple times in this movie, and he just like pulled his arm back, and those babies were clean as a whistle. He could have eaten dinner off of those things, and you wouldn't have noticed that he just like fucking shanked somebody all the way through.
Rare steak with it, easy.
And I know that these movies are PG-13, so it was never going to be a bloodbath, but there was blood. There was blood in this movie, but not on his claws. And maybe that was part of it, like they weren't allowed to do it or something, but then you're limiting yourself, and that's weird.
Fair.
Yeah, the claws I thought were very hit and miss. So it was a dislike for me, because it's a big part of him.
So that's part of my dislike, but I went more broad. I just said, I think I kind of, softened the blow because I kind of like this movie. Okay. But I was like, yeah, CGI is still not great. Like, yeah. And when I say still, I just mean from the bootleg movie I had that was shitty.
To the finished version.
To the finished version. It was, and you know what the funny thing is? When I watched that movie on bootleg, I watched it in my dorm room. And I was like, actually, no. It came out in 2009. I was out of the dorm. I was in an apartment. But anyway, regardless. Watched it in my apartment. Was watching it like, oh, this is, they didn't edit any of this. I was like, okay, right. Then I started, I think around that time, maybe a year or so, I started doing IMDb. I didn't know about IMDb. And I started seeing more things about this movie, like, the CGI is terrible. And I'm like, well, I know I saw the bootleg version. I know you saw the regular version. And people were just like, no, it's terrible. And the first time I watched it, I was like, oh my God. They didn't finish the movie.
My God, they're right.
I was like, in my bootleg version, I was like, oh, they didn't finish the movie. Okay, fair. And then in your version, in the version you could buy, they didn't finish the movie. So when I say CGI still not great, it's terrible in a lot of places. A lot of the mutants, honestly, besides the teleportation, everything else kind of looks comical. Even as much as I like Wade Wilson's like sword thing, it wasn't the best.
Yeah,
it didn't look great, but I just loved it. I thought it was sweet, but it didn't look great. And then some of their movements were weird. When Agent Zero flies through the air, so he's Deadshot, but also he can jump 30 feet in the air. That's kind of. Then when he jumped onto a moving helicopter, the Agent Zero, who's a Deadshot. What?
I wasn't clear what his power was.
He can just aim shit and shoot.
Was it aiming? Was it doing those weird fucking floaty moonsault backflips?
Yeah,
because he did both of those.
He was doing it all. I was like, man, this guy. Where's his movie?
Yeah.
Agent Zero Origins. Like,
yeah.
I was like, but the helicopter thing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, no, the helicopter did not slow down once. But guess who sped up? Agent Zero. It was like if Mario got the star, and it was like he was just. I was like, oh,
yeah,
oh, okay, sweet. Didn't know he can do that, and then he dies regular. Okay. Actually, he didn't even die. There was a helicopter crash, and he didn't even die right away.
And he Wolverine stuck his claws into the ground and made a spark that set off the line of fuel that was
that we didn't see
that had been there the whole time. He set it up ahead of time.
I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't even think about it until you like exclaimed. I was like, well, we didn't see the gas. Because in every other time I watch this movie, I'm like, okay, there's gas. I just, my imagination.
Don't hit the gas.
Did you say hit the gas?
The children are yelling.
So yeah, CGI, I agree with you. It's not.
Yeah.
It takes you out of the movie a lot.
Yes, because to continue with this, Gambit's kind of a dislike for me.
No, well, not kind of.
Because the card scene was cool. Yeah. After that, first off, I don't think it needed to be him. It could have literally just been anyone.
Some rando. But it had to be a mutant.
Yeah, like it didn't have to be like a sweet fucking character that everyone likes. I don't know anyone that's like, oh, Gambit, he's lame. No, Gambit's fucking cool. He flew a plane. The main thing they needed him for was to know where the place was and to fly a plane. Yeah. Literally, you could have picked, I don't know, reach into a hat and pick a fucking mutant that in the timeline was an adult. So like no Jubilee, no Kitty Pryde, no Colossus, no actual X-Men. But there's tons of other mutants out there. It didn't have to be like everyone's favorite Raging Cajun Gambit who gets very little screen time. And when he does get it, it's fucking weird. Because the card thing was cool when he threw him through the wall. And then, cool stick. Cuts his stick in half. Gambit takes these 2 half sticks and starts jamming them in this fucking brick wall and starts climbing it like super fucking fast. And I think you heard me make a sound at that.
I did. I didn't think it was bad until you said something. You're like, oh, and I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
He took these 2 halves of this wooden stick and it's like jamming them into this fucking brick wall, climbing it.
Ironically, he was not using any of his feet. His feet was just dangling. He's just all arms. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he is up on the fire escape, and Wolverine starts like just like one like a piece at a time, like, and it falls, and then he gets the ladder, and all I could think of was Scott Pilgrim punching the shit out of Matthew Patel with that like 64 hit combo where he just like but I liked it in that because it was supposed to be goofy and funny, and it wasn't Wolverine trying to like wood chipper his way through a ladder so he could not kill a man. And they showed it just like falling down on him, and they like the high speed him chopping up. I was like, this looks fucking goofy. I didn't like it.
If we're talking about that scene, so
and Gambit's weird fucking floaty midair cartwheel sideways flip where he lands on top of the fire escape. Because I'm pretty sure I made a sound. I think you're like, here it comes. I think you were like, here it comes, and I was like, what? Oh,
it wasn't even a flip. It was Wolverine doing the wood chipper thing. I was like, oh,
it was all of it.
Here's the thing: there were 2 or 3 times during the movie where I knew what was coming, and I knew Chris was gonna hate it, and I was like,
and you were right.
And honestly, I thought you were gonna hate the Charles Xavier thing, but
no, I like him.
Yeah, that's fair. I like him, but I have a dislike for that, and I forgot about it until just now. Great, but yeah, what was it? I knew the claws were gonna come, and I was like, this is gonna be terrible.
I was kind of wishy-washy on them until that fucking bathroom scene.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they were double the size.
And the thing is, they weren't
scene.
bad when he first comes out of the water.
That scene's great.
They play that scene all the time. When we talk about Wolverine, they play that scene.
When he comes out of that water tank, it's good.
Yeah. Then he gets shot,
and it's terrifying because he is like all fucking juiced up.
Yeah, it's so good. And so I was like, I knew it was coming. And every time I was like, here it comes. And so the reason why it's terrible is all the reasons you said. Also for me, it's a little bit of a, what they call a continuity error for me, where, okay, he's chipping away at the ladder. Why is the whole platform moving, the balcony, right? So if the balcony's moving and you're chipping away at the ladder, that means the balcony's off the building.
Yeah, and like should be falling.
It should be falling down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's in my head. I was like, okay, perfect. But then the balcony's like 6 feet off the ground, and he has to hit another. Yeah. He has to cut it off from the building. I'm like, how is it still on the building if the ladder's coming at you? Yeah. And if the ladder's just coming at you, step aside.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird like kick down ladders, I think, where like it like slides down. I was like, why did he need to go all the way through it?
Exactly. And how does that? And if it is a kick down ladder, that has nothing to do with the balcony.
Yeah,
that can come off. That can break. That can do whatever. That's not bringing the balcony down. So I agree, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, this is terrible. This CGI is this is dumb. And I was like, no. If you got to speed someone up like that, because no one moves like that. He doesn't move like that. When you got to speed somebody up like that, okay, you might be doing a little bit much.
Yeah, I didn't like
because it was dumb.
Yeah.
Do it regular speed or don't do it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Also, Diamond Girl, not Emma Frost, looked bad. In my opinion, I didn't like it.
Did I like that? She was inconsequential to me, so I was just like,
she was, but I didn't like it because they're like, oh, your sister has diamond hard skin. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah,
and
everybody knows who Emma Frost is.
Yeah, and everyone knows who Emma Frost is. I don't think that was supposed to be Emma Frost.
I think that's supposed to be. Her name is Emma.
Was it Emma Silver Fox?
No, exactly, but her name was Emma in the. Don't look at me like that. I didn't make up this character.
I know.
But in the cast list, her name was Emma. I know. And I thought you were going to say her, but you didn't. But yeah, her name is Emma.
No, because I kind of forgot about it until like just now.
The funny thing is, the woman, the doctor woman who told like Stryker, like, how are you going to stop him? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Do you remember her? She was talking to Stryker.
Yeah, she's like, you spent like $1 billion making him invincible.
Yeah, indestructible. Yeah, how are you going to kill him? And her name in it, Dr. Frost. And I was like, you guys might want to... Yeah. Listen, I looked at it. I was like, this is great. They really fucked this movie up. And, yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, there was no Stan Lee in this movie.
I was getting there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It was coming.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all right.
No Stan Lee.
We're here. Dislike. No Stan Lee.
No Stan Lee.
Because while he wasn't in the second X-Men, right?
Yeah, he wasn't in X2.
He was in 1 and 3.
No lines.
He should have.
I don't think he's in any of the other X-Men movies.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they did a disservice with that.
We're gonna get to that. We'll get to them when we get to them.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea for where he could fit in?
I'll think about it. Go ahead.
The only place I could really think of is probably the casino scene, the gambling den scene with Gambit. Not necessarily like at the table with him, but like just in that area.
Yeah, because you can't kill him off.
Stanley's not going to be in a village in Cambodia getting shot in a firing squad. He's not going to be in the prison cell with him. He's not going to be on the fucking ship with him on D-Day. He's not going to be, I don't know, he's not going to be in the fucking Nigerian Diamond Lord in his compound. I just don't think, I can't think of anywhere else.
He's not going to be working as a wood chipper or a laborer.
Yeah, the only other thing I could have thought of is like maybe a lumberjack, and that just would have been goofy.
No, and he wouldn't try to fight Wolverine. Oh. So yeah, I think you're right. The casino would be the only one.
They could have made him like a dealer or something.
Yeah. because they had a real poker player at the table, David Negreanu or whatever his name is.
Oh,
Yeah, I used to watch poker back in the day. I only know him in the field guy. He's a black dude. He's pretty sweet.
what about Kevin Malone? Great poker player.
That sucks. You mean Phyllis?
So
I got all clovers.
It's a flush, honey.
I got a flush.
I suck.
I suck.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at
Pretty good. Oh, damn it. Yeah, no Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And then my next dislike, what did I say it was?
I know you said you had dislike for Charles Xavier.
He was walking.
I know we just watched it. Was he walking in X3 at the beginning when him and Magneto go to Jean's house? I was trying. I know we just watched it, but I can't remember it. I feel like he was.
He was.
Yeah.
But so
yeah, like who knows how much? Who knows when this? They still were very unclear as to where this movie was.
And also
that might have been on purpose.
Yeah,
because they knew they were making a bad movie.
and that's another reason why I didn't want to watch the Wolverine, because I was like, well, I don't.
What do you mean he fucking walks?
And then they kind of changed the timeline in that too. It's a whole fucked up thing.
Yeah, because in that one, you definitely saw him in World War II.
Yeah.
In that one, because he like pushes a dude in a well to save him from the bomb.
Yeah, fair.
Which I remember being pretty cool, to be honest.
It was, and I feel like
I'm looking forward to seeing that one again.
He should have, because I know in one of the comics, and I don't read them, but I think in one of the comics, his skeleton gets exposed. Like he's like a skeleton and he has to grow back after a little bit. Mm-hmm. That would have been a perfect place for it in the Wolverine. That'd have been pretty sweet. I like it. But either way, a little fucking adamantium skeleton walking around.
Dude, Jake, today at work, Jake was like, man, I got into a heated argument at one point in my life with somebody about who the strongest X-Man or like X-Men character or like mutant was. And he's like, someone told me Wolverine and I couldn't abide it. And they're like, Wolverine's the strongest. And Jake was like, Magneto. And they're like, well, but he's Wolverine. And he's like, but he's fucking Magneto. Like, he could literally rip his entire skeletal structure out of his body.
And they do that in the comics.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and I know comics have been undone and redone and shit, so continuity is non-existent. But I think they kill him like that at one point.
Yeah, they do. Because
you can rip a skeleton out. His brain and his heart and lungs are going to be contained in that brain, in that skull, and those fucking rib cage. Fair. So I mean, unless like two separate Wolverines are going to regenerate, which might be kind of cool at some point. Sweet. But I mean, there's been multiple Wolverines already between his son and his clone daughter and other things. But like, it's fair. He fucking murdered him.
And the clone and Logan.
Yep.
So.
But I digress.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I think reading about X, the first one, and Last Stand. Yeah, they were like I was watching a video on it, and they were like, this would be a great place where that would happen because he picks him up twice, like that, picks him up by his skeleton, and he's like, oh, that metal doesn't run all through your body, does it? And then he kind of like stretches him out, and I was like, oh, and they were like,
yeah, on the train.
Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, if they did that, they would have another X-Men movie. And I'm like, fair, because you can't do it in the first. You can't do the most popular character in the first one. You can't kill him. Good.
First meeting of Magneto.
Right.
Fucking shucks him like an ear of corn.
And then Halle Berry has to scream for Sabretooth. God damn. But yeah, Charles, he was walking. Here's my thing about. I guess it actually fits if I think about it, because in Last Stand, for some reason, he was bald and old, and they kind of like younged him down a little bit.
Yeah, at the beginning.
In this one, he looked terrible. He looked horrible.
He did look better in X3, the de-aging thing.
Way better in X3.
Yeah.
And in this one, he kind of looked like Ditto from Pokemon, from Detective Pikachu, which I listened to too. Nice. I listened to some of that a little bit, but yeah, he looked like fucking Ditto. I was like, what the fuck?
He did look a little silly putty-y.
Yeah, and I was like, okay.
Which is another instance of the effects in this movie.
And then my thing is, what are you trying to reveal to me? Because, okay, you hear the voice, go left. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like, no, it's not. It can't be. And then next thing you know, it's like, he says something else to him in his head. And you're like, oh, that's Charles Xavier. Oh, okay, this is really sweet. And then they show a helicopter. Nobody's coming down from it. And then all of a sudden, you see legs walking. And I'm like, well, who the fuck is this guy? And then they show his body, and it's like, Professor X. I'm like, well, that's not the way you should reveal Professor X. You reveal him with a fucking wheelchair.
The floating chair, ideally.
I be talking about the floating chair all the time. And listen.
I did like his chair in the original trilogy.
It was cool with the X wheel. Sweet.
I hope someday into the MCU we get the fucking floating yellow chair.
Dude, let's do it. Because I love it. That's why I thought he was a ghost. I thought he was a ghost. Space ghost, coast to coast. And I thought it was him. And he's not a ghost, apparently. So, I just, as a kid, I was like, I wish he was a ghost. Because he did die. But apparently not.
Everybody fucking dies and comes back in comics.
Yeah. So, I'm like, how do you reveal that's dumb? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was stupid. And then him gathering all the kids, I'm like, okay, Scott makes sense.
But like, who the fuck were the rest of those nobodies?
But Emma Frost doesn't make sense. No. Like, none of that makes sense. And then, of course, we go to the next movie that comes out, which is X-Men First Class, and Emma Frost is a grown-ass lady in that. And I'm like, oh, well.
It's changing it all up.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And neither do they. So, that's my last dislike. Yeah. What else you got?
I think that's all I have.
Okay. So, let's get a Slushie Meter. I'll let you go first.
All right.
Let's do it. I think I got a number in my head, and I want to see if it beats yours.
2.5.
Okay. Fair. I like it a little more, and I was thinking between a 3 and a 3.5, but I'm going to go with a 3 because the CGI was terrible.
At one point, I was like, man, maybe a 3, but like stuff just kind of just kept adding up on me, and I was like, I can't go with 3.
I understand if people don't like this movie. I'm not even saying I like this movie. I'm just saying there's a lot of things in the movie I do like, and that's it. Because to be fair, if I'm being completely honest, I could give it a 2.5 because it has nothing to do with any other movie. Mm-hmm. This is just, it's an origin movie. Bring something back from his origins. You know, at least in Captain America, you get Bucky, you get the red dude, I can't think of his name, Red Skull. Mm-hmm. You get Howard Stark. You get fucking it starts with Z. What's his name? Zola.
Yeah.
Like, you get so many things that comes back. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing comes back from this origin movie in any of his other movies. Even Logan or the Wolverine. Honestly, they gave him 3 movies on his own, and they don't match up with any of the movies. If I have a problem with that. I do have a problem with that.
That's fair.
If I dislike anything, it's because they don't matter.
That's fair.
You just got 3 solo movies to make money. That's really what it was.
That's fair.
It just so happened the Wolverine was good. Did you watch Logan?
Yes.
You liked it, right?
I did.
I did not.
I didn't. Well, I liked it at the time, and that's, again, we'll see if it holds up, because I remember liking the Wolverine. I remember liking Logan. And I haven't seen either of them in completion since. I think I've only seen them each one time. I remember liking them. We'll see if they hold up for me.
I think I just tired again. I was like, this is gonna be his last movie. Thank you.
Yeah, it's sad to see you go, but we're happy to watch you leave, because I liked him as Wolverine, and it was cool. But
he was great.
But at the same time, I get that you're making this the last one on purpose, and that's cool. And maybe it should be, because literally, what else can you do?
But don't reboot him. And definitely don't do fucking Tom Hardy. I don't think he fits. They're like, well, he's short like him. If that's all you got,
then make Tom Cruise.
I mean, might as well. I like Tom Hardy but he's already Venom.
Yeah.
And he's already Bane.
Can't be everything.
You can't be everything just because he's short. There's so many short actors apparently. So, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, don't. There was another one. It wasn't Scott Eastwood. It was somebody else though. They're like, oh, he looks just like him. If you keep going for the look, you're gonna be disappointed. Yeah. I don't need somebody to look like Hugh Jackman. I need somebody who is Wolverine. That's it. But they were like, oh, he looks like Hugh Jackman. If that's what we're doing, then let's not do it then.
Put some big fucking sideburns on somebody, they might end up looking like Wolverine.
All right. That's like trying to redo Nick Fury. Don't. Just don't. We get it because he was supposed to be Samuel Jackson anyway, so let's just stick with that.
Yeah.
Or make him the original, the white guy.
They redid the character to look like Samuel L. Jackson.
Exactly.
And then they just stuck with it.
So don't come back with like, oh, we got a new Nick Fury. No, let him be. Let him be. Because we don't need another one.
If we get an alternate Nick Fury, if we get a different multiverse Nick Fury, and we get like the old fucking white guy Nick Fury.
Yeah. Then, or somebody who looks like Snake. That's easy.
Yeah. Eye patch and a little salt and pepper on the side.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that working.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I'm good. I'm good on Wolverine. But yeah. What did I say? 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm going with 3. Yeah. It's easy peasy. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Good times. We had a good time at the movies, guys.
I had a good time watching it.
Don't feel bad about you not liking it. It's fine.
I don't.
You're not gonna watch it again.
No.
Yeah, fair. It's fine.
I mean, if I go home and tomorrow or the next day Megan's like, "Oh, can we watch that movie that you watched?" I'm like, "Sure, put it on." I'm probably gonna do something else though.
Facts.
I'm probably gonna fuck around on my phone or read.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, turn it on.
I've done it.
How'd you like it? Well, it was great. I thought you hated it. Yeah, I did.
Couldn't have been better. Everything I saw was amazing.
How was it? The nap was great.
I saw the back of my eyelids. Yeah. Easy peasy.
It had better effects than this movie.
My dream had better effects. Absolutely,
it might have. And again, I understand that in the past, on this podcast, we have said, "Oh, if you don't like the effects, do better." I know that we can't, but they have.
Yeah, no.
They had in the past done better.
Chris, you're too nice of a guy. I don't think I can do better. I don't want to do better. But there was something that we watched, and I was like, oh, I could do better. I could definitely
probably Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah, it was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I was like, I could do better than that.
Yeah.
I can't do better than the rest of them, but that doesn't mean I can't be critical of it because if it's shitty, it's shitty. Yeah. That's okay.
And also, they had better effects in the first one.
They had better effects 9 years beforehand.
Yeah.
So don't tell me, just like we said about some movie or like something else, and I'm like, well, Toy Story. I think that's what I said.
It was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yeah, we were like, good CGI. Yeah, I was like, there is no good CGI. And you're like, no, Toy Story came out that same year. And I was like, well, then, fuck.
Yeah. And also, Mortal Kombat came out earlier, 95. You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. It's not as bad as Annihilation, though.
No.
To be fair.
It's not possible.
No, you can't. Well, you could. We just aren't watching those movies. No. But yeah, this movie, I get it.
It wasn't great.
And for me, this is okay. People talk about Black Panther, and they're like, "Oh, the CGI was bad." And I'm like, I didn't notice. Have you ever heard that?
No.
Oh, a lot of people don't like Black Panther because of the CGI. Oh yeah, they say it's terrible. There's so many people who do not like Black Panther. I try to take people at their word, and I try not to get it confused with why don't you like Black Panther? That doesn't seem correct.
Because of the first part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
too many Panthers.
And I get it. People troll online all the time. I saw somebody say, "What about White Panther?" It's like, okay, calm down. Like, what? I get. You're trolling. You have to be. You have to be trolling at this point. But if you're not, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, yeah, the people who say they don't like it are certain people, and they say the CGI, and I'm like, I don't see it. And then I kind of notice, I've noticed a couple things, and I'm like, that didn't take me out the movie though. I was like, I thought it looked sweet because they really talk about the last fight between Killmonger and Black Panther and
the underground train fight.
Yeah, they say that looks pretty wonky, and I'm like, I was like, I see what you're saying, but I mean,
I'd have to rewatch it.
at the end of the day, you had two people falling from on top of the Earth crust into like the middle of the Earth, and that couldn't be people, so it had to be CGI. Excuse me, it had to be CGI. So, what did you want? You know what I mean? That's how I feel. Like, what do you want real people doing that? Because they can't.
Rewatch it.
Yeah. So
See, because I remember the scene, but I don't remember like in detail what it looks like
Same.
because there's been so much stuff in between that.
Same. So I just go like, okay, cool, like, and then of course, you know, people are like, oh, it's CGI. I'm like, okay, cool. I know what it's not. I'm like, okay, now you're telling on yourself. I know. Okay. Well, I get it, but the CGI, and I'm like, okay, cool. They're like, I know what you're thinking. I'm like, I wasn't, but now I am. I get why you don't like it, just to be honest. Black Panther, that's like an all-girls team-up scene. Can't happen. Okay. What about the other team-up scenes? Anyway, I'm just going to go on a rant. Let me stop.
It's fine when it's all men.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or if they have like one woman.
Like Avengers in every other movie.
Yeah, like Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy or
Avengers 2. Infinity War. You know. Yeah. Either way.
Civil War.
Literally Civil War, but okay.
We'll do it in a way that won't be lame.
The Lethal Weapon way? Let's do it the Lethal Weapon way. All right, guys. Let's see. That is it for Wolverine's Wolverine singular, Origins plural. The Canadian ass kicker. Next up, we will be watching The Wolverine.
Yes.
Now, are we watching Logan after that, or are we watching?
Sure.
You want to do that?
Yeah. Is that all right?
That's all right. I don't care. Get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't care. It could be last. It could be first. I don't care. We're not watching it in any specific order, so it's not like order of the movies. But the Wolverines don't match up anywhere, so we can just watch them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then after that, First Class.
And in the First Class movies, there's time travel involved, so fuck it.
Days of Future Past. Yeah.
Movies.
But those are 4 movies.
And that's where things start to get really wonky.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No, I think they start at Apocalypse. Days of Future Past, I got it.
I meant like continuity wise, because I'm pretty sure at the end of that one you see like.
Oh yeah, Gene comes back.
I think pretty sure you see characters from the first trilogy.
Yeah.
And the First Class ones.
Yeah. Because Gene comes back. Because at the end of the movie, it's Gene, Halle Berry, Scott.
And then in Deadpool 2, I think you see characters from First Class in the X-Mansion.
I think so. When he opens the door.
Yeah, he's like, I've never seen anybody else. And there's like, close the door real quiet. Then it's just Colossus, who was fucking great.
I know, I did too. I like Colossus.
He was great.
I was watching Fast and Furious 6. Gina Carano was in it. I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, I know her. And it made me think of Deadpool. Then it made me think of her comments. And I was like, okay.
I forgot she was in the first Deadpool for a minute.
I only remember because of the boob scene. Oh, your boob is showing.
Oh, yeah, and Colossus is like, oh, please.
Yeah.
There's something about
then
that.
she fucks him up. Yeah.
Oh, she beat the shit out of him.
But then, what was her name? Teenage.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yeah. She was pretty sweet.
She fucked her up.
I love the fact that her girlfriend was not a mutant after in the second one. That was so funny to me. I was just like, because she was kind of like, honestly, I mean, I don't know how this sounds, but she reminded me of like an anime girl. Like, what do they call them? People who like anime like that? Like who?
Otaku, weebs.
Weebs. Yeah, I've heard that term.
That's a term.
What does that term mean?
If I'm thinking of the term correctly, it's definitely a derogatory term. But I think it's like a term for white people who are like really, really into anime. And
that's hilarious.
A weeb is a derisive term for a non-Japanese person.
That's hilarious.
Obsessed with Japanese culture, they wish they were actually Japanese.
That's hilarious.
That's what the internet defines it as.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so it's not just white people.
That's fair.
It could be anybody.
So
it could be anyone non-Japanese.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure this girl was Japanese, right? In Deadpool 2.
I'm not sure if she was Japanese. I think she might have been.
Yeah, I think
the character, at least, I think was supposed to be.
Yeah. But that's hilarious. I did not know that's what that meant. That's so funny to me. Because people embrace the term weeb, though.
Yeah, like some people are like, oh, you're a weeb. Like, yeah, and they like laugh about it. Like, I could be like, I'll jokingly call myself one.
Yeah.
Because I have like anime figures and shit.
That's hilarious.
Nothing that I would be embarrassed for anyone to walk into my house and see.
Fair.
Because those exist.
Yeah.
There's nothing in my house that I have anywhere in there that someone like, oh shit, someone's coming over, you better put that away. Or I'll put the clothes back on that figure.
Just
before
me.
someone comes over.
That's all I think about. Like, man, put me away. Nobody wants to see this.
Yeah.
When people come to my house, I'm like, yeah, I might leave. All right, see you later.
You're gonna put yourself away.
Please do. Hide me. But yeah,
just put a sheet over me.
A white sheet, preferably.
Whoa.
I mean, it's whatever. All right, that's it. So stay tuned for more X-Men. We said Deadpool too. We're doing Deadpools, right?
You want to?
Are we not? Yeah. I think we should.
You want Deadpool, baby?
Yeah, no, I definitely think we should do Deadpool. I mean, if we did
down,
Wolverine's origin, we should do Deadpool.
I'm down.
I mean,
see the good one.
Continuity. Got to keep it in the trilogy.
See the good one.
It goes Wolverine Origins 1, Deadpool 2, Deadpool 3. Easy. They're just called different names in real life. It's kind of like how Star Wars was. It was like Star Wars, and then when 1 came out, it was like, okay, Star Wars is 4 now.
Yep.
So boom, Deadpool came out. It's like Deadpool 1. It's like, no, it's actually 2.
So they're making Deadpool 4 right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So the rumor I heard about Wolverine coming back or whatever, when people were upset about it, it was either, to be fair, it was either Deadpool 3 or Doctor Strange. And it doesn't make sense in Doctor Strange. So, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Doctor Strange.
It can't be. There's too much going on.
Yeah.
There's too much already. And, yeah, I don't really know much. That's a trailer I don't want to see anymore of. But have you already seen another trailer?
No.
Oh.
Well, I saw like the one that was at the end of Spider-Man. Because the end credits of Spider-Man was a fucking like a mini trailer for that, and then the one that they showed during the Super Bowl.
Did I see that one? I don't think I did. Or no, I did, because I think I texted you about it.
Yeah, because I sent you a meme about it, and you were like, I didn't sketch that.
Oh, the voice, yeah. I had no idea, no clue.
And I'm not. Keith. Let's end this episode. Real
All
quick.
right, let's. Damn, I kind of want to know, but I don't want to know.
I'll happily tell you, but I feel like if you did watch the trailer, you would get it immediately.
Oh,
because it's not like a secret thing. Like, ooh, who could that be?
Oh, really?
Who is that man?
No, okay, I'm okay.
Who is this man?
It's Michael Scott. It better be Michael Scott.
It's not Michael Scott.
So, yeah. Either way, we're out. We'll see you guys. Make sure all the stuff. You guys get it.
Catch you laters on the Menjay.
Laters on the Menjay. All right, we're out. This has been Keith
and Chris,
and we're out of here sometime.